We would like to see most of the human race killed off because it is unworthy. It is unworthy of the gift of life.
I don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. See all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mix-up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe Word with Jason Rouse.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Safe Word podcast. I'm actually going to date this. It is November 18th at 12:30 here in Austin, Texas. The weather's a little overcast today, and I have a friend visiting from California on the show today, XG. AKA GPS, AKA tinfoil hat, AKA we don't smoke the same. What else are you doing?
Everything. I've done everything, but I'm going to say, because this is a podcast, I've never been with a chick and we've had a safe word. I don't think I get crazy enough.
First of all, don't take the tape off the mouth. And then, hear no evil, see no evil, right?
Yeah.
Safe word, though, but that's only if you're dealing with having sex with somebody through uncharted territory where they have nervousness. I think, look, I had a girlfriend that had no safe word, and she ended up in the hospital more than once. That wasn't even me. She explained that her previous boyfriend had put her in the hospital.
You're making me think that now...
And she smiled.
Oh.
She giggled about it.
You're making me feel bad now. You're making me feel like I'm not a gentleman. I think I should ask every girl, what's your safe word in case she needs... In case we get there where she just yells out, like, what's the weirdest safe word you've got?
You said you're a gentleman. You're a con man for pussy. There's no gentleman. Just because you have a condom on and you're handing a girl flowers at the same time doesn't make you a gentleman.
And I paid for the plan B.
You play for... but
that's a little gentleman-like, I would say.
But you go on dates, so you have an opportunity to be a gentleman. Here's the door for my lady.
There we go.
I got the check.
I got the Uber.
I hope you don't have AIDS.
Sometimes.
Yeah, when you say Uber, that means you're telling her to leave.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's not gentleman-like.
Do you Uber her to the date?
Depending how hot she is.
Oh, really? You have a grading system?
Yeah.
Oh, is there like a tier system of what you're willing to commit to this?
Like the chick you saw this week?
Yeah, with the patch over her eye and a big cold sore?
She gets Ubered everywhere.
She should get Uber out of town. No, what... That's a lot. Well, you're a single young man.
Yeah.
And living bachelor. In Hollywood, hanging out with...
That took over you. I took over your spot. You left LA and I was like, I'm moved right into LA. I almost got... Remember when you tried to give me that lease and I was close to taking it?
Where? At my... in Austin?
No, in Hollywood.
Oh, that's right.
Remember you had like 6 months where you're like, hey, you want it?
Yeah.
And I was like, I almost took it, but it was during the pandemic. There wasn't a lot going on.
But you are living in Hollywood. Oh, you're in Glendale.
I live in Glendale right now. Yeah.
That's right. Which is like 10 minutes to Hollywood without traffic.
Right down the street.
So how did you end up? Because you just kind of showed up at the Comedy Store. What was your connection there? So, was it George or Sam or no? It must have been George initially.
So it was George. So everything started. So like I went to school for radio broadcasting, kind of doing this thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I had no idea. Yeah. I thought you just kind of were filling the spot when people felt that you could do it.
No, so
you've been trained. I had no idea.
Yeah, so I went to school.
That changes everything.
Yeah, I didn't graduate. I just went to school for radio broadcasting. Then I figured out that radio was gone.
Yeah,
I was literally taking class to be a radio broadcaster, and I'm like, yo, this is kind of out the door. So I was like, yo, and I only went to do radio because I wanted to do something like Rogan, but I knew no one was going to listen to my shit.
Yeah,
unless I had some clout. Yeah. So I was like, I'll get on the radio. This is my logic. I'll get on the radio, get a fan base, then say some crazy stupid shit.
Yeah,
and then get fired and then start my podcast. But now I have a fan base around this radio station.
That's what it's a Howard Stern
Yeah,
business
that
model.
that was my move. And eventually I was like, well, that's not going to happen. So I literally was like, I want to start a podcast, but no one's going to listen to it. My friends don't want to hear me talk. They already tell me to shut the fuck up. So I was like, you know what? I need to get a host. I need to become like Jamie. I literally was in my head. I was like, I want to be Jamie.
Yeah, Red Band.
Yeah, I want to be Jamie. I want to be Red Band. So my favorite podcaster is Rogan. I was been listening to him since I was 18. So I go down his list on who have been his
Oh, you're
last.
stalking. This is the
Yeah,
same,
stalking,
This
yeah.
is what you call dating.
Yeah,
too.
I'm being
It's
a
the same
gentleman.
process.
I'm being a gentleman right now.
Background
Gentleman,
check.
yeah.
How long you been married? How many kids does she have?
So I go down Rogan's like list, and I'm trying to find out which of his guests live 30 miles away
just
from
look
me.
for Latino names. You looked at last names and you saw Perez, and I'm like, I can work with this guy.
So on the list during that, I think that 2 months on that list was George Perez, Brendan Schaub's, and I sent them all the same email.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a young kid. Work at a radio station. I'm willing to start your podcast. I'm not asking for no money. I just want a percentage of the podcast if it makes any money.
Yeah.
Of course, the Mexican hit me up, wants free work. George hits me up.
Yeah.
George is like, hey, I'm like, I heard you on Rogan's. I think you were great. There isn't a Mexican Cholo podcast. I think if you start it, you can start a ball rolling.
Yeah.
He invites me to his house. You know him. Got beers, smoking weed.
No, I love it
Yeah,
there. I get
typical.
panic attacks going there because it's all fun.
And it's the first time I meet him. So this was like six, 7 years ago, and I'm there chilling. And
Give
he's
me
like,
what year was that? I know we're 2015.
2015, 2016. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'm in his living room, and he's like, well, what are we gonna name the podcast?
First of all, didn't George yell at you for dropping N-bombs at the Comedy Store?
No, I've never dropped an N-bomb at the comedy. He made me stop using the N-word, honestly. He's like,
Yeah.
I can't defend you when you say the N-word and a black guy beats you up.
It's show
because you
business down
deserve to
here.
get your
Yeah.
ass beat. And
They
that's
don't
what,
care what neighbor you're
Yeah.
from in Sunset. Yeah, you will get slapped. Sorry.
Yeah.
David,
No, you're
but-
good. So then, I'm in his house and we're hanging out and we're talking about creating his podcast. He's like, what are we gonna name it? What are we gonna talk about? We're
Yeah.
gonna pull up videos. They're gonna be reaction videos, and we're talking. And throughout this conversation, he racks up 3 lines of cocaine.
George does blow?
Yeah.
What?
What?
When?
So-
That's why he hasn't
right?
called me. He's busy.
So I'm there, and we're talking about the podcast. Lines up 3 lines of cocaine. Very nonchalant, casual. Doesn't even ask me if I'm down.
It was like a cheese platter at
Yeah.
an old lady's house.
And he-
An hors d'oeuvre for the gentleman?
He racks it up.
It's classy.
Classy. Gentleman. He racks it up, lines it up, and then he's like, does a bump, does a line, and then looks at me. He's like, you want one?
Now, did you play in that?
I had already fucked around. I had already done cocaine, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, fuck it. I do a line. No big deal.
He just want to find out you're a cop.
Exactly. That's exactly. 3 years later, he tells me. He's like, if you wouldn't have done that line, there wouldn't have been no George Perez stories, dog. And I was like, holy shit, that was my first
Yeah.
test. And I was like, well, why? And he's like, I just didn't want someone that judged me.
Yeah.
I wanted someone. I party sometimes. I party on a Saturday at 3 in the afternoon. I want to do a bump, and I don't want you recording, being like, what the fuck? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
So I kind of got it, but it went from there, and then I started working for him. Obviously for like.
When you went in and were in George's house and looked around and saw his lifestyle and how he carries himself, did that kind of like fill in the blanks as far as conceptually of what the podcast was inevitably going to be?
Oh yeah, like when
Yeah.
I mean he's
living it.
his life is. I mean he's a DJ. He's a DJ at a strip club during the day and
Yeah.
does stand up at night. And he doesn't need to do the DJ strip clubbing. He does it for material.
Yeah.
To fuck around. He's got the best time. He has to go in at 11, which is pretty good if you party. You can 11's not
he's
that
with
early.
the real of the real.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the way. He'll lose his connection with the streets if he gets out of the strip club DJ game.
I told him, I was like, if you stop DJing,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do stand up about? Like every other person being at home on an airport.
Old stories, yeah.
I'm like, you're here, like he
No.
just keeps them alive. I mean, I've been there. I mean, I love dropping off lunch. He'll call me when I used to live with him. He'd be like, "Can you drop off lunch?" And you know, it sounds like a hassle, right? Like, oh, I gotta drop off lunch for the homie.
No, he might die.
Am I that fool's bitch? No, but the best part is I show up with lunch, and guess who gets a lap dance?
Who does get a lap? This guy.
This guy.
It's not even his birthday.
No, George is like, but I bring food for all the girls. George
Yeah.
is like, hey, can you stop by and like get a platter or whatever? And I show up, and then instead of getting fucking lap dance. Like,
And strippers are way more appreciative than an office full of secretaries.
oh yeah, true that. And then you know what's the best part?
Oh, Xavier, that guy. Oh, you got to meet my friend. He probably.
And they know I'm with the business because they know I work with George, so they're not
Yeah.
scamming me for money.
Yeah.
They're just there like, here, let me do.
Because
Let
they're
me.
afraid.
Yeah.
No one wants to get yelled at by George.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
yeah.
It's terrible.
So then, started working with him for a while, and then
And what episode are we at? 300?
no, probably like a.
'Cause
Oh,
I
right
just-
now, no, right now we're at 330.
Because I just got a
You were-
Facebook.
you were the first
reminder.
guest, now that I remember.
I was
Wow.
number one. Yeah.
Damn, I've known you don't. Yeah, you were number one.
Yeah. First episode, GPS.
Go
You can
check it out.
It's a
Yeah.
good episode. I think, and then I was in episode 200, which was next week.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I got a Facebook reminder because we did it at the strip club during
We
COVID.
did. We did at the strip club
I
during
almost had a
COVID.
panic attack because I was worried about stepping on some guy's shoes on the way to the bathroom.
Did you see me? You were there when I smoked tweak on stage.
Yes, I was there when you smoked tweak on stage. It was crazy,
Dude, I
Were you
can't-
sick?
Huh?
Xavier, and it's documented. You smoked crystal meth on stage at a strip club during COVID.
So let me give you guys
I
the
don't know if the
rundown.
pipe was clean,
Dude, so let me give you guys the rundown. It's episode 1999.
Yeah,
We're going to promote the show. Tickets
Yeah.
are about to go on sale. And you know how it's the end of the show? All right, guys. Well, this is the end of the episode. Don't forget, we got tickets for sale at georgeperez.com. And then Eddie Eddie ends the show with, if we sell out by tomorrow,
Yeah.
XG Smoke's gone down stage.
yeah.
I didn't even edit it out because I didn't think we were going to sell out. I'm like, fuck it, run it.
He kept reminding you too. He goes, "We're almost sold out," and you're like, "Fuck."
It sells out.
You don't even like the stuff.
I've never done it. I'd never done tweak. Never done none of that. That's like homie shit. Like I grew up, that's like in the 80s, 90s. I'm like more cocaine, ecstasy, Molly. So I'm there and I'm like,
And keep in mind, nothing's open in California. You
Nothing.
guys have a sold out show at a strip club with a lineup. I got a video. Everyone's in line with the mask stuff, and they're waving and shit. Honestly, I really want to. Because it's like George and Eddie. You put a camera on those guys, and it's immediately showtime. You can always count on them. I just really want to find this.
Red Band was there
This
as
is
well.
it. So
Stories, episode 200. We're about to launch taking people in, sight thinking what's tricking. Look, dog, there's motherfucking holes here.
That's mid-COVID.
Coke, heat, weed, bad shit. I'm fucking wild out. I wanna fuck something.
Wanna fuck something? He's so crazy. He should be your next guest on it. That motherfucker is crazy, Sadiq Eddie.
but he's free range.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that he can get behind the mic and talk, Eddie is just on it. He's always Eddie.
Oh, always Eddie. Will
I've never
always
seen
be
him in a
Eddie.
bad mood, even
Nah.
when he should have been. When
we're running low on cocaine, sometimes
Yeah.
he gets a little fissy and a little
Yeah.
hissy fit, but he's fine though. Just call the dealer, get
Yeah.
another 8-ball, we'll be fine.
feed the bears some honey. No, it's fucking hilarious. I love hanging out with those guys.
That's the best.
You're about my fifth favorite.
Oh, great.
out of
Thanks.
all the,
Thanks. Appreciate
people,
that. Fifth Mexican that you like. Nice.
who are some of your favorite people? Because you've seen them come and go.
So, I mean, and
Is there somebody that have
Here's a full
completely
circle.
nothing in common with you that all of a sudden you're like, fuck, I like this is an interesting personality. Because you're in the mix of the most broad range of people
I mean,
constantly.
I'll be honest with you. You're one of the people that I never thought we'd hang out with. Like when I see George with you, and everyone tells me, he's like, how is a fucking goth guy wearing all black hanging out with the cholo wearing a Pendleton and Air Force Ones? And
Russell Peters.
yeah, I mean, that's what connected you.
Yeah.
But you're one of the people where like people ask me like, you're friends? Because
People would come over to George's house to look at me when I was there.
the best is when you do his shows and they don't expect this white boy because it's all gangsters. You've done his shows
Yeah.
and they're all cholos and shit. Yeah, no, but you're definitely you're. I mean, honestly, you're probably one of the like my homies. Where like, I mean, you spent the night at my house. I woke up to death metal in the living room.
Everybody does. It's my alarm clock. It's the only thing that gets me smiling out of bed. But
Let's not forget before we end that. He also left something. He also didn't flush the toilet when you left my house the last
Really?
time. Yeah,
There
left
was
me
a log?
Yep, little log. I was like, oh, Jason's gone, and then you really weren't gone.
well, I didn't know. I wanted to leave you a fruit basket but I ate it.
Oh
And I
yeah.
don't want to leave empty-handed.
It looked like a brown banana. Ended up being.
I've ruined a lot of toilets and bathtubs.
I bet.
Ask Sam. Do you know how many times I've shit in his bathtub? When
that
we
why
did the
you're-
Monsters of Comedy tour, I took 18 dumps in the tub over the course of 32 days. Not in my room, by the way.
Do you stomp it down?
No. Listen, there's an art to this.
There's an art to this.
What I'll do, what I did on the tour, Sam will verify this, is when they were out, I would go to the front desk, get their hotel room keys, go into their rooms, shit in all their bathtubs, unscrew the light bulbs, and you know me with the heat.
Oh, you're the fucking worst.
I turned the heat up so it was just a log fire in there. It smelled like hot diarrhea. As soon as you open the door, because they couldn't turn on the lights, and the bathtub, and then the bathroom light comes on, and then Patrick puked into the bathtub on my shit. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, a little weird. And no consequences?
No, the card, it wasn't on my credit card. The rooms weren't on my card, so I wasn't liable.
There we go.
And
But no consequences for the homie? Because that's homie court. Like, I do that to George, there's going to be some consequences. Even if it's like, yo.
All those guys were terrified to have. This is day one I started this, so they didn't want it to escalate. So they just looked at this as an occupational hazard. We've never been on the road. I didn't complain at all about anything, but we did make it through literally 14 years ago, I think.
So, this fucking.
13.
So you putting the heat up at hotels, that's real common for you because you've done that to me and
do it all
George.
the time.
Horrible.
Yeah.
And Fowler. I'm sure you remember that day in Fowler.
In Fowler, we had 5 guys?
5 guys in a two-bedroom hotel.
Yeah, I slept in the chair. We partied.
One guy weighs 300 pounds.
Yeah,
alone.
Some big, and no one was healthy.
We got a retard with us.
We had a retarded guy with us. Didn't he try to hang himself in the hallway?
Yeah.
And
so we do
Yeah.
Fowler. We do Fowler, but Jason doesn't
drink.
know.
I don't drink.
Yeah, and Jason doesn't know. I mean, I'm sure you remember that was my first show ever.
that's right.
That was my
That was
first
a
show.
long drive to bomb.
Yeah, a long drive to bomb.
I don't think I had a great show either.
Yeah,
it was fun.
It was. So we go to Fowler, and if anyone who doesn't know, it's by Bakersfield, in the middle of the fucking nowhere. It's a fucking quinceañera venue. Remember how lame the venue
What's a
was?
quinceañera venue?
A quinceañera, 15, sweet 16 in Mexican Spanish.
Oh, I didn't know they had actual halls for kids' birthday parties, like
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese for Mexicans.
Yeah, and you rent out the hall, and your fucking kids come in. You know that little dance.
Yeah.
So that's a quinceañera.
The
So-
dresses are awful. It's a little overdone.
real pricey too, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's a quinceañera, and that felt like a quinceañera hall. Like it's just a hall for like,
Yes.
yeah. They made it into comedy. Remember, it was a talent show before we went up,
Yeah, it was insane.
It was
looked like
rappers,
it was made
yeah.
up. It looked like it was made up.
and we show up to Fowler, and it's
Everyone's coked out.
everyone's coked out. We're coked out. Everyone's coked out, and we do the show. It's no big deal. We do all right. George kills. Everyone does their thing. And then we're like Jason says, we're all coked out and we're drinking. Jason doesn't drink, so we're drinking, and we go to the hotel. And George is like, all right, let's go to sleep. We're going to wake up early and get the fuck out of here. Because nobody wants to be in the city, but we can't drive because we've been drinking. So and Jason can't drive at all.
Never. Never driven.
Yeah, so that wasn't an option. So we're there, and we fall asleep. And I wake up to George saying, what the fuck? Who the fuck did this?
And then somebody on the floor goes, oh, I can't breathe. And he sits up. Everyone's soaking wet. I was in the chair with my shirt off, with my eyes open, waiting for you guys to wake up. I was soaked, waiting. I'm like, please wake up. I'm going to have a stroke.
So we
There's
wake
150 in the room.
Yeah, and like Jason's toughing it out. To him, it's like a sauna. Like he's just
I'm relaxed.
yeah.
I'm zen, right? I'm trying to.
We're hungover.
Water's pouring off my
Yeah.
nose.
We're hungover, coked out. There's no water to be seen, and those waters are worth $10 if you're willing to drink them.
Yeah.
And George is just pissed. He thinks I did it. He doesn't know who did it. Jason's laughing in his evil.
Well, he didn't think anyone would do that on purpose.
Yeah.
He thought somebody mistakenly switched it left when they should have gone right, but I turned everything up full blast.
Yeah,
you guys were cooking for about 3 hours.
Yeah, we woke up at like he was so upset.
Everyone was dying. We were all dying.
So it's your thing. You
That's
ruin. Is that the word?
Once everyone's quiet is my time to work. And if you're in my area of business,
You're fucked.
which is the night, you're going to get Dracula.
Do the cat.
Whiskers. People still ask me about that from the podcast.
Oh, dude, that's the best. It's the whiskers.
They stopped me in the streets, and but now you did a show last night.
Okay, so
Big
you
tinfoil hat.
What do you think? I mean, I know I'm not great, but you've seen the difference. A little better, right?
Yeah, you're facing the stage.
There we go. There we
You
go.
did that, yeah.
So,
But you're on a specific trajectory because all your stand up you're doing is around the podcasts that you're doing.
Yeah.
You're not booking your own shows outside of that.
Nope.
Probably don't have time.
Yeah, honestly.
Is that what it is? Yeah. I
Time
would
and
think.
so I got like 3 shows.
Yeah.
Blessed with these guys bringing me on, and but I gotta ask you: are you a conspiracy theorist? Since you came to our show, you did come to Tinfoil Hat Podcast. Did you?
I don't have a choice by association. I have, but you guys talk. There's so much information coming out. I have my ideas and concerns about the world, and I'm sure it's not a question of whether or not the conspiracy is right or wrong. It's what are we going to do with this information? How are we going to apply this to a future?
Which we don't do none of that.
No, you guys.
I agree. We do.
I have anxiety.
Yeah, we do tell you the problems, but there's never a solution. It's
Sam
not like
sleeps with his eyes open because the government's coming for him. He's gonna get. He's gonna be shot like John Lennon
we've established that CIA shows up to our events.
for sure.
For sure. Like
For
there's
sure.
one CIA agent, FBI agent looking at Eddie Bravo or looking at Sam, just waiting for these guys to roofie them.
Yeah, because you guys have got a live. People are actually paying ticket. That show was sold out.
Sold out to hear these
To
dick
hear
jokes talk about
maniacs.
conspiracies.
Maniacs. You guys look like you're throwing rocks at the sun. It's crazy. I get it, and more power to you. I don't have that energy. I think, fuck, what's going to happen?
What is going to happen?
Like, this is the closest, I think, look, from a guy sitting in the stands watching the world, maybe the closest time in my life that we've been potentially on the route to a third world war.
I think we're pretty close. And it seems like they want it. It sounds weird when they say they, who's they, but like it don't seem like anyone's trying to not
Because
go to
a
war.
guys like Sam is causing these problems. If he just shut his mouth, take his number, and stand in line, we won't have these apocalyptic problems. The problem is people are saying too much on the internet, and the government's becoming. Look, it's not even government. See, now you got me on board.
Well, you're what?
It's not even. It can't be government.
It is government.
But there's something behind government.
Oh, yeah. Well, like
Now,
Canada. What do you think about Canada's government?
Put it this way: I'll be applying for citizenship next year. That's what I think.
There we go. Yeah, that's how bad that is, and eventually it's gonna. For people like Sam, it will get here. Eventually, it's gonna get here anyways. But that little pushing
Okay.
back is good.
Can we? How would you look? Driving from Canada over to catch a flight in Detroit, my internet completely changed as far as information
Sounds like China.
accessibility.
Yeah, sounds like China.
It sounds like it's China. And I was blown away. I never thought I would see allowed to censor information into Canada. But it comes down to this prime minister.
Like, what would you think if your podcast, Safe Word, wasn't allowed on?
This is the whole point. I got a green card. The whole reason is that if the First Amendment is the whole reason that I'm here is as long as I can kick and scream, I have a chance in this place. So the best place, the most freedoms would probably be Austin, Texas, in a comedy boom with a bunch of cage fighters and musicians and hippies, tech nerds. I don't really see a better life in freedom than there is here.
Because I mean, you guys have open carry.
Yeah.
The only non-freedom, and I know you guys don't even give a fuck because I enjoyed
What?
your guys' weed yesterday, but it's the weed law.
Oh, for sure.
That's the only freedom where as a stoner, I'm like, yo, can we just get rid of that? But everyone says in Austin, you're fine. Everyone's like, yo, you're fine in Austin, but it does get sketchy, you know, like.
I do enjoy the
Illegalness.
illegal of it. Yeah.
Because you're a rebel, but.
I don't want to look. Dispensaries are most of them are scams.
Agree.
And,
Taxation.
Yeah, and all that. There's so many people with their finger in the soup. Look, if you know a guy who knows a guy, you got a guy.
See, but okay, so I'm gonna tell you this: you should get citizenship because
I
they
can.
can never take that away from you. Your residency, they can take that.
Well,
Bye. You fuck up, and they don't like what you did. You hate your wife.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Says
What do you think I quit drinking for? Because I want to hit my wife. I'm a hit my wife kind of guy. I would be in the laundromat
with
at
what
the
type?
park.
With what type of alcohol? All alcohol?
Oh no, white rum.
White rum
is yeah. I'd always lose the plot. White rum, for whatever reason. In fact, I expressed that to my mother that I had some pretty bad drinking experiences. And she goes, "What were you drinking?" I go, "Rum and Coke." She goes, "What color was the rum?" And I go, "White rum." She goes, "Yeah, your old man used to bug out on that shit." So
Oh shit!
It's probably something inherited through a family tree that certain types of alcohol. But I never really enjoyed. I prefer a single glass of wine over 12 beers and a 26er Southern Comfort, which was kind of like the weekend.
You were
Saturday.
You were a Southern Comfort dude. For some
For a
reason
while.
I feel like you were a Jaeger dude. I don't know why.
I did only because Slayer was drinking it, and look, I'll tell you what I am not: tequila and Fireball guy.
Oh, that's trash. Well, tequila's good, but Fireball. I don't know, anyone who drinks Fireball or that Screwball whiskey, I don't give a fuck what it is. You're asking. It's just
Whiskey Pig is rye whiskey's great.
There
I
we
smell
go.
the bottle, and they have a delicious maple syrup. By the way, they age they put the maple syrup in old whiskey barrels and to give it a whiskey taste to
ooh,
it.
that sounds good. Actually.
Yeah. What is your drink of choice? Margaritas.
Margaritas on the rocks, please.
Really?
No. Just beer.
I love a margarita.
I'm a beer dude and Jack and Coke.
How
Real
come you're
simple.
not fat? Do you exercise?
Yeah. I'm like,
you
you aren't
doing?
you fat, huh?
Yeah, but I don't drink beer. Your alcohol consumption
It's high.
is high.
Yeah, but I also
But you got no. Oh, are you doing
no
cardio
no.
or nothing?
No, I just straight lifting.
Okay.
Just lift. I don't have insurance.
No, neither do I.
So it's a thing why I don't do jujitsu. Because everyone's asking me like, yo, and you got Eddie Bravo on you.
Yeah.
Why don't, and I just don't have insurance, and insurance ain't cheap. And I already have a torn ACL.
What's a clearly you've looked into what a year of health insurance for somebody like yourself. What is that?
It's like $100, $200 a month.
$200 a month.
That's a lot.
So
To not get hurt.
Yeah.
Like if I don't mind paying $200 a month if I'm snowboarding.
Yeah.
If I'm doing dangerous shit, because obviously it's bound to happen. But if
But
I'm just chilling and I'm
First
at the
of all,
house,
you're
smoking
around
weed,
murderers all the time. You've gotten more relaxed because the people you're associated with, well, they'll strangle you to death.
yeah,
Is Sam doing jujitsu
he's
with a
doing
beer gut?
jujitsu. Dude, he's doing jujitsu with that beer
Does he
gut.
wear a onesie? Like
Yeah,
those
they call
old
the gi.
style-
Yeah, he wears the gi.
Fuck. With a fanny pack.
Yeah.
He's the only guy on the mat with leg warmers and a cowboy hat.
Yeah, they got him doing jujitsu.
Yeah, they should.
Have you tried it?
No. The same reason that you had brought it up. I've got screws and plates in this arm, and if I hyperextend that again, it's just a thing. Yet I'll jump a car on a BMX, no problem. You know what I mean? Like, I know where my skill set
There
is.
we go.
But yeah, I take risks to a certain degree. I was going to skate a little bit, yet I really wanted to get a motorcycle when I was here, and then I saw how many people drink and drive,
Yeah,
and I
no.
was like, no way.
Yeah, I lived in like a desert area growing up, so I used to ride dirt bikes. So I know
Oh,
how
yeah.
to, and I loved riding dirt bikes.
Yeah.
But that's just you on the dirt.
Yeah,
If you fuck up, you fuck up.
yeah.
On the street, Samantha
Yeah.
could be texting and driving, and you could be the perfect driver, and she can kill you. To me, I gotta anyone that buys a bike, I'm like, you buy a bike.
I saw a guy get sideswiped by a rig, and it opened up his calf like full. Did you see that one?
No,
There's a
but-
few that circle. And it's. I was really. I had picked out a motorcycle that I thought, and then the more I was in the city, I realized this is not good. I don't even like racing those. I've never been on
Scooters?
one. The scooters. I've never been. Have you been on one?
They're dangerous.
Have you been on one?
Yeah, I've been on one.
Jesus.
Yeah, they're not they shouldn't be going that fast. Like and then no helmet needed.
No, if you can't, I think if you can't physically move as quickly as the vehicle you're in, you shouldn't be going. That's why I don't drive either. I have maybe there's some sort of fuck. I wish I knew how to read.
Manual? What are you thinking?
No, like I've been thrown off skateboards and bicycles, but I knew in a car wreck the odds of survival from an impact at that speed is minimal. Like if you were tied to a front of a car and you bumped into a wall at 20 miles an hour, you're done. So I was pitching myself on the front of whatever the philosophy of
Yeah.
People are just turning off this show right now. They go, maybe learn a vowel. Buy a vowel. Did you go to school?
No.
No school?
No school. No.
For real?
No, fuck with you. Yeah,
I wouldn't judge you. It was the worst time of my life.
No, I went to just community college. Dropped out.
I got a scholarship to a college, and then I was asked to leave. They tried to kick me out.
How long were you there?
3 months.
It's good enough.
No, I ended up finishing up the year after kind of apologizing for being disruptive in comedy school.
Oh, you went? There's a comedy school?
Well, let me explain. This is where I met Giannis. That's how me and Giannis became friends. In '99, there was a program invented that embodied all of the aspects of comedy and writing and performing. So you'd spend a week learning mask, commedia dell'arte. So you'd put on these themed masks and you'd have to become the character. Clown, commercial acting, sitcom, screenplay.
The whole
writing.
works. Yeah, it seems, yeah.
Very intensive program for an entire year. And I was never a very studious person sitting. Like this is I have to lock into sitting still and having this kind of conversation. So sitting in a classroom, all the shit I was doing when I was a kid started to resurfacing. And I started to bring chaos to order by just being me. And inevitably, at the end of the year, I had a call from Lorne Michaels' office to ask me to come to New York. So I almost got kicked out of idiot school to have Lorne Michaels ask me to come and be an idiot.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's a weird business.
So I got to ask you, I mean...
Did I get Saturday Night Live? No. That's why we're here in a one-bedroom. It didn't go... No, it went great. In fact, it was a matter of the curse that I've had in my career was we love you, but we don't know what to do with you. And that's why I hate white people. They never know what to do with me. That's their excuse. No, that's a cop-out because they're like...
If you're black, if you're black in this dark... If you were black in this dark and you walked around like all black on black and you said jokes that you said, I think you'd be on Netflix. 2 specials, 3 in.
A microphone tattoo. If I look like a SoundCloud rapper, yet
with those jokes,
well,
you'd murder.
T.I.
He did
he's doing stand-up.
He did try. I mean, I don't know if he tried.
No, I think he's still doing it.
Like, yeah,
I think he's actually pursuing it.
Did you see? He performed in Austin, right?
I think I saw a post, but I'm definitely. I want to get a. You know Yellow Wolf, right?
Yeah, Yellow Wolf. Yeah, of course.
I want to do some shows with Yellow Wolf.
That would be dope because that seems like a little.
I think that'd be a crossover.
Yeah,
I'll have to have something specifically for that audience.
So then I got to ask you. So you did the school, that school, right? And then we're talking about T.I. doing stand-up. He's a rapper, wants to do stand-up. No big deal. Go ahead. What do you think about? And they're pretty popular right now out in L.A. Comedy classes. Comedy, like, can you teach comedy? Because that's why you took a class like that. Can T.I. learn comedy? Do you just get it? Does he?
The thing behind this all is to stop procrastination. So if you needed to go do a week-long comedy program and you realize by the 3rd day that you've maybe wasted your money or made a mistake or brought in a whole new problems that you need to address, and the realization that maybe that this school is not going to really help me excel in this field, and having the revelation of having to go in and do it day by day by day, the practice, opposed to finding, I found a cheat code. There's no cheat codes.
Yeah.
And whatever gets you up to first base, I always say, like if you're going to do a program, which is, I was in a week-long comedy program with me and Seth Rogen. We started out together in Vancouver. So I'd moved to Vancouver in 93 to pursue comedy. And when I got there...
I was born in 93, just so you know.
You were born in 93?
Yeah, so you started stand-up when I was born. That makes me,
I started comedy in 96.
Okay.
It took me a minute there, but that's wild. I was a terrorist in the early 90s. It was bad. But this move to Vancouver...
Was Seth Rogen okay?
Because it was Hollywood North... X-Files was being filmed in Vancouver. All these hit TV shows that were traditionally shot in L.A. and New York, the West Coast of Canada was having a huge film boom. Hollywood North, blah, blah, blah. All these celebrities would come up there. From L.A. to Vancouver, you're sleeping in bed every night. It's just up the street. So me and my friends were like... Fuck, I think we're going to go to... Because you can't go to the States and just start working. So Hollywood North, sounds like Hollywood to me. Let's get closer to that. So moving out to Vancouver, winning around, trying to find a comedy club. And what do I do? And seeing a little thing saying comedy program, blah, blah, blah. I think it was a couple $100 or something like that. But the main thing that was key in that was that at the end of that, there would be a showcase, which meant I had a date to go up and do this. And like I said, I moved to Vancouver in 93, spring of 93. I didn't get on stage until summer of 96. So I spent that whole time procrastinating and just kind of in myself until I started to get in that and being around like-minded people that were actually trying to chase it. So after that first performance, I was gone. I was gone.
I kind of get what you mean because most people diss those comedy classes. But you're right. If it gets you to the first one and gets you in the stage, because, I mean, it's hard. If you're not a comic, you're not going to get no crowd.
No.
So you're going to go to open mics that are shitty. So you're right. Yeah. I would, and if you do good, that's a nice, like...
Yes, and that's what happened.
And you're like, hell yeah, because those people were those are the people that were in the class, right? I'm assuming a lot of people in the class, friends.
We would bring up the people that were in the program, would invite Seth's grandparents used to come to the shows. He'd make reference to my grandma and grandpa are here. It was funny. He had a corn shirt and little dreadlocks. How was your, I mean, do you remember like your first premise? Because your shit, I mean, is I'm sure you weren't doing what you do now, obviously, but like, do you remember was it clean? Did you still go dirty? Yeah, it was always crass. You know, I kind of grew up in a downtown skate park in my hometown, so everything was crass or it wasn't funny. So
yeah.
I brought a lot of that, my party antics to the stage. So yeah, it was dirty. I talked about... my heart beating in my chest while I was having sex with this woman. And I didn't realize until at the end that she had kids because it wasn't my heart that was pounding. It was the kids hitting me on the back. Get off my mom, you're hurting her. So that was one of my earlier, I can't believe I just remember that. Yeah.
That's what I said. It's been that. Yeah. It's been that stand-up the whole way. Yeah. It's not like, because you've seen people change. I've seen people go from like, I'm not going to say names, but you'll see super clean cut to like dirty because they see dirty's working. Then they'll go to clean again because they see Netflix is clean. You've been Jason Rouse since Jason Rouse.
Consistent. I think that trip to Vancouver gave my life a hard turn in the right direction. It allowed me to grow and do things outside of the old neighborhood.
Have you ever? Because I'm sure you've been told or been paid. You've done a clean set, right? How do you work that out? Because I've seen George just did Fluffy, and that's George ain't doing his coke, Joe. So you have to like. Go for the crowd. Still killed. But I'm sure, like, how do you go? Like, when was the first time you're like,
I just don't buy tickets to my show if you don't know who I am. You know what I mean? That's not my fault. I'm not trying to trick anybody.
No, but you've never been asked by a comic, like, you know how you get asked by Russell Peter? You got to be a little, like...
He don't give a fuck. You're right. Ever. In fact, I remember in Richmond, Virginia, the manager of the club came in and said, we had 100 complaints. And he goes, this weekend? And he goes, tonight. Now, I smashed it. And there
you knew it was you. You know the complaints were kind of from you.
Oh, no, he was pointing at me. And Russell's like, what are you telling me?
It's sold out.
Who cares? You're packed. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I think he thought that Russell was going to curse me out for disturbing the peace, but that's Russell knows what I do.
Yeah.
He's never, yeah. He's just, I'm like, because I've gone in diplomat, like, should I? He goes, let it rip. He'll in fact, I seen him, he'll pull the staff in the comics, make him stand and go, watch these people lose it.
I've seen, dude, like, I mean, I've seen you do stand up and you walk people out and you love walking. I've seen where I
do good too.
Oh, you
I
do
have
great
good shows.
No, you do great shows.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but it's that girlfriend.
Yeah.
They don't know who you are. This guy brings his girlfriend with him. He loves Jason. Girlfriend's never heard.
Go.
Yeah, girl's never heard of Jason. Jason starts doing his material, and you can just see the boyfriend's dying. The funny thing is, the boyfriend's dying. The girlfriend's are.
Because I'm diminishing the sexuality in the room. So any girl that comes in there with her thumb up her own ass and a smile because she's been treated as a princess because she's an attractive woman, or some fat cunt with blue hair who's clearly got a picket sign, a blank picket sign in her hand, who's already amped. I don't know.
Super anti-abortion, and she's never even been laid.
What all of it. Whatever she's going to write down on that sign. But then the other girl who's super hot and sexy, and all of a sudden the smell of her perfume and her beauty is not relevant in the situation. She still has to be a star wherever she is, not in Fucktown. Okay? Everybody gets shit in their pussy. Everybody gets shit in their pussy. And that's the most inclusive. I'm just trying to make you smile, folks.
But everybody does get shit in the pussy. If you got a pussy, there's shit's been in it.
Hey, everybody went to Gallagher and they sat in the front row when he started smashing watermelons. No one got upset. They brought plastic and they went on with their day. Yeah. Bring plastic.
Yeah,
Splash zone.
If you've never seen Jason Rouse and you're thinking like, what am I going for? Look up Gigi Allen, and then it's not that bad, but it's in that category.
He's definitely one of my comedy influences.
Oh yeah, you introduced me to him. I didn't know who he was, and then you pulled me videos, and I had to watch the documentary. And if you guys don't know who he is, well, like
his movie, they're doing a biopic on him, and I'm going to audition.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
you should. Yeah,
I want to play Gigi Allen. I think I could do it.
You definitely can do it. I can see you
drinking again.
I could see you reenacting the time where he takes a shit and throws it on stage. You could do that.
I was doing that
one take. Drake
87. I never used a toilet for over a year. I'd made a pact with myself and my friends that I would not.
You're
use
lying
a
about
toilet.
this.
No, I used to put newspaper down in my kitchen and shit on the floor. Giannis told the story. Because I'd tell people they thought I had a dog. And I'd have parties and they go, there's some dogs, your dog pooped in the kitchen. I'm like, I don't have a dog. And there'd be log jams all over the place. Oh yeah, that's where the bathtub dumps originally started. I would shit anywhere except in a public.
Okay, so when was the last time
they took a shit outside?
Yeah, that you were like, it's been a while. I mean,
it's funny how you said that, because I couldn't think of a date. I looked at it as like an attack on me. Like, what do you mean you don't got the old grease gun anymore, old man?
Come on, we're hanging out today. We're hanging out today. I can put you in the green room before Sam gets there. Can you remind him who's in town?
When I come back, I'll do it in front of you and Side Dick, because I know that Side Dick will just laugh too.
Oh, dude, Side Dick will send it to his kids.
Dude, I'll get on all fours in front of what's the strip club called?
TJ Showgirls.
TJ Showgirls.
And City of Staten, during the daytime, go hit up George Perez.
I'll get on all fours like a dirt bike. You sit on my back and I'll rooster tail a parked car in the parking lot. But you got to make the motorcycle noise. When
no, but for real, when's the last time you did it? I know you remember. You got to remember the last time.
When was I on the road? Who knows?
All right, I'm gonna give you.
I am the Logfather. You can buy Logfather shirts on my website, by the way.
I'm gonna give you an insider tip. You know the retard we talk about? The homie, the retard. I just don't want to say his name.
Oh, yeah.
George's friend, the strip club regular. Yeah. So he's also kind of a fucking psycho crazy person.
Yeah.
So you know what his thing is? He goes to hotels, and when he goes to hotels, he used to have a dog with him or a cat. And he gets the pet with the pet.
Yeah.
Pays for the pet deposit. And not only did his dog take a shit,
On the floor?
so does he. And he paid for the pet deposit, so
No.
it's okay.
Wild. I thought smoking in your room with a deposit.
No. And
Wild.
And you're just gonna, and it's funny because you would see a dog shit,
Yeah.
and then you see human shit. So you're looking
Well,
at it like,
The human shit's the one with the McDonald's napkins next to it.
and this motherfucker, like one time I was leaving, I got a hotel with him, and he brought his dog with us. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna start packing. I'm gonna head to the car. He's like, all right, head to the car. I gotta do something. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I paid for the pet deposit. I'm like, and what, fool? He's like, I'm gonna take a shit and take a piss on the carpet.
That's a mental health issue. I'm an artist. I publicly paint, where he's doing it behind closed doors.
For house. That's why, to me, I was like, that's rude. Now you're just making some housemaid pick up human shit because you paid for the pet deposit.
Yeah, the cleaning industry is a very unappreciated group of people, but they must have stories. The stuff they
Like
find
your story. You don't
bodies.
think there's a girl that says, dude, I walked into this hotel. Not only was there throw up, some guy took a shit in the tub.
Oh no, because it's not on my credit card, so
Yeah,
whoever's card's got to clean it.
No, I get that. But that lady that cleaned it tells this story to her friends.
Oh no, because I would never put the cleaning lady in that position. I would put one of my good friends in that position by having him legally liable through his credit card. They don't even know I was in the room.
I know, but who cleans it?
The guy who owns the credit card has to push the shit down into the drain.
They don't make the maid do it?
No, because you'd probably get a fine. See, your buddy's MacGyvering it with double dog shit in it, but 6 of those dumps are his. Where they know the guy who shit in the bathtub is an animal. So someone's going to pay.
So
And it ain't going to be me.
That's what I'm telling you. Next time, just pay for the pet deposit. I give you an insider tip. Pay for the pet deposit. Now you can just say the dog took a shit in the tub.
It just feels weird to me. I feel like I'm using the system. There's no fun in that. I like the adventure of it. But speaking of shit, what's happening? You're in town. You have no shows.
No shows. We're actually just here hanging out with. We did Vulcan, which is great. Thanks for everybody who came out in
We'll
Austin.
go to Creek and Cave and see the Filthy Show at
Let's
11
do that.
tonight. Yeah.
And then
hang out.
Sam's going up at the store, so at the mothership. So I'm gonna try to
Yeah.
creep in for a little bit. And then Eddie Bravo's got some jiu-jitsu party thing.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's got his whole 10th planet, all that
Nice.
somewhere over there. But yeah, we're here for the night, so we're just gonna hang out, go fucking chase tail.
And we are in what month? November, December. Okay, I'll see you late February for GPS.
Nice, you coming in for
I'm
down?
gonna come in. I think me and Yoshi or something might come up to Orange County.
Nice, there we go.
It'll be good.
Dude, Yoshi's a maniac,
He's the best.
dude. I can't believe that he's a test bunny, or what does he do?
He called me from the hospital today, from the institution.
What did he take this time?
He never tells me what he takes, but I go side effects. He goes, yeah. He said his skin was changed color for a while. And no drugs, no drinking.
It pays well though.
Oh yeah, that's how he's been surviving.
It
the
pays.
last 10
When
years.
I asked him how much they paid him, and he told me like
$5,000, $8,000.
Yeah.
A couple of those.
I
keeps
thought
him up.
it was maybe a couple hundred. I was like, why are you risking your life for a couple hundred or side effects? But for $5-6 grand to not work at McDonald's,
Yoshi had a vasectomy when he was 13 years old. No, I'm kidding. He was really young when he had it. But yeah, Yoshi will be in town. What do you got coming up?
just tinfoil hat. I got a couple shows with Sam Tripoli, so you can go get those at samtripoli.com. And then with George Perez, we got a couple shows in LA, like always.
Is it really 3 podcasts or 4 that you?
It's actually 4. I also work with Willie Barcena.
Nice.
I produce his podcast on the side.
Excellent.
Yeah, so Willie Barcena's
I love Willie.
great comic. Yeah, he's on a whole different level.
Very underrated.
Yeah, very underrated. He should be for not having like a Netflix special and shit. Yeah, he's underrated, but he's one of those guys that writes a lot.
Oh yeah.
He sits there and I've seen him like very dedicated. Goes to his craft. You know how some comics.
But that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
He's from a school of that. That's what you did.
He has flashcards, and he still
Yeah.
looks at his flashcards before he goes up on stage, which is like very rare now because I don't see no one flashcards, and he goes over them real quick
Yeah.
before he goes up on stage. I'm like,
Yeah,
respect.
Willie's the kind of comic where you could sit and watch for a 2-hour show
yeah,
easily.
and he'll be dude. And the best part about him, he's a drinker.
Oh, is he?
He go. No. But you like you said, 2 hours. You can see the soberness.
Oh yeah.
So by the end of the show, he's just like, and
Well-
no offense to him, he's a partier. People take shots with him. They send him shots on stage. That's his thing. It's like Bert Kreischer move.
Yeah, but his is it's
with shirt on.
I love seeing alcohol, like somebody they know what they're Stanhope, same guy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like where you have your drink. They know their drinking regimen. They know by the end of the show is fucking over. Like there's no encores.
Nope.
This is all I had, and you got it all.
Yeah, there's
Nothing left in it. No, I love it. But check out X on all his platforms.
Check them out. Yeah, we don't smoke the
MySpace,
same. MySpace.
Grindr.
Yeah, a lot on Grinder, Tinder. Yeah, go check them out.
Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you soon on the streets.
Let's do it.
Thanks for coming
Of course,
by.
my boy. Thank you.
Cool.
That's good. That was fun.
Yeah, man.
That Mitzi thing's not that good. That Mitzi.
We would like to see most of the human race killed off because it is unworthy. It is unworthy of the gift of life.
I don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. See all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mix-up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe word with Jason Rouse.